Welcome back, everybody. My name is Ozzy McNugget, and today we are carrying on with Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. So in the last one, we ventured to our first murder scene, and we reenacted a couple of bits to try and figure out all the little things, like if they stood up, led down, left or right-handed, and then we did our deduction boards. And I think we ended up with Watson in the brothel, so that is where we're going to continue. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, so let us continue. I can't remember what it was we actually had to do. Just gonna turn the volume down in my ears just a wee bit, because it's quite loud. Right, let's talk to this. Oh, because he'd had his cane nicked.
Good evening, my dear man. I was led to believe that you're a doctor.
Pardon me?
None of the residents of this establishment are among my patients, sir.
Oh, you're not here as a doctor, but as a man, then. I understand.
My days.
This is my kind of place, too. It's in these houses in Whitechapel that you find the girls that are the most natural and definitely the most docile.
Your way
Rude.
of speaking about these women is not that of a gentleman, sir.
Oh, he definitely ain't that, is he?
I heard that you were the victim of a robbery here.
Oh, I'm not complaining. The loss of that walking stick will certainly bring me a very pleasant compensation.
No, it won't, because we're going to find it.
What does your cane look like?
The stick is ebony, about 35 inches long.
Oh.
The round knob is made from chiseled silver with a ring around the middle of the same workmanship, just like the tip, for that matter. If you find it, don't tell a soul. Keep it for yourself. Got it?
No,
Well, goodbye, sir.
that's not what we're doing.
Or until next time. And good evening.
So I now can't remember. We spoke to her. I can't remember what we had to do. We've done our deduction board. Yeah, that's all the same. No, I didn't want to come out of the... Wasn't there... Let's quickly reread Bella's... Bear with me, I'm just having a quick scan for it. I'm glad they document it so I can actually read it. So, oh yeah, we were looking for information on leather apron. He was spying through the windows, forces him to give him his money. What? I don't know where she can be found. Margie, the nutcracker, the girl I'm talking about, could tell you more. Where could Margie go? And she got the sickness, so I gave her notice. So, to the clinic. Let's try it. Because right now, I gotta give that glass to Watson. But right now, I am indeedy. Why can't I go to the clinic? This game, there we go, does this occasionally. It just glitches and messes up. Just because it's so old, I suppose. Bum ba bum 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 bum. Oh, it got pretty dark out. Well, as long as you're cozy, mate. Tree. Why can't I get in? There we go. Because I wasn't looking properly. Oh, we have people in the beds now. Jolly good. Well, not jolly good, because that means they're poorly, but... What's this I spy on the floor?
A large black footprint.
So that geezer was here.
Good evening, Doctor. My name is Dr. Watson. Pleased to meet you.
Good evening. I am Dr. Gibbons. Likewise.
I have
Margie.
come to see you about one of your patients. Margie goes by the nickname Nutcracker, who gets her prescription from the clinic.
I wonder
She's
why
a
she got
lady
that
of the
nickname.
night and is afflicted with a venereal disease.
I know who you're talking about. Indeed, Margie has syphilis and is being treated
Ooh,
with mercury.
I thought it
Do
was
you have her
syphilis.
address?
No.
I
And
vaguely
for your
remember
information,
saying it
she
last-
left London
last
for good
time.
3 days ago. She felt threatened.
How
Margie
dare they?
felt threatened. But by who?
I believe that Margie was particularly scared of a terrifying man who attacked her once.
Did she say the name Pizer or Pyther?
Unfortunately, she didn't give a name, but she described a man with shifty, rat-like eyes and a mouth twisted in a
Let's
sinister
just
grimace.
do this.
Did
Okay.
Margie have any idea where this man who terrified her so much might be found?
No, but she told me that another girl who'd been attacked like her had told her that this man worked in a cobbler's run by an old Israeli. Also, she saw him again last week, the night of the big fire. She told
Okay.
of going to see the fire like most everyone else in the area. While there, she recognised her attacker in the crowds gathered at
So-
the warehouses. There was no mistaking a face like that, she said. She kept an eye on the man the whole time the firemen were working in order to avoid him.
So if the timeline matches up, this leather apron won't be the one that murdered the woman, because if he was there watching the fire, he's technically just been given an
Pardon
alibi?
me, Doctor, but who made the large black footprints there near the beds?
The brother of one of my patients. The poor thing had her leg amputated after colliding with a carriage. We arranged to find her a prosthesis.
Prostheses are very expensive. How did this man pay?
He told me that one of his uncles gave him a walking stick with a chiselled silver knob. I agreed to accept this knob in exchange for a simple prosthesis with harness. But this object is of great value, and I could finance half a dozen other prostheses by selling it on Petticoat Lane.
Can you give it to me?
Doctor, I have reason to believe that the silver knob that you possess is from a cane that was stolen by the man who brought it to you. And I believe I know to whom it belongs.
That's what I was worried about. The story of the uncle seemed a little strange. Nevertheless, you must have proof of what you claim. I will
Fair
show
enough.
you all of the knobs that we have here. If you find the knob that the young man gave me, I will believe you.
Can I have it?
So be it, but something is bothering me. I will need a complete cane, not just a knob.
We've
Don't
got the
worry, dear chap,
description.
build one. I can loan you some tools. Make use of the odds and ends in my cupboard. It'll help get rid of it.
Well, I shall try. I will have to remember the description that Sickert gave. Goodbye, Dr. Gibbons.
Until we meet again, my dear colleague.
So in the cupboard. I'm assuming that cupboard. Because that's the door. Right. Good lord. Right. So it was the chiselled knob. And then, how long is it, 35? The stick is ebony, around 35 inches long. And then the knob, the middle and the tip are all the same. So ebony. That. Let's reset that a minute. I'm a bit stupid. What kind of wood is that? Ebony dark? I kind of don't want to... Ebony... Blackish brown hardwood. So that one, so if I put that on there, that is about 65. Didn't he say 35 or something? Oh my days. About 35 inches long. That's 65. And that one looks a bit, well, that's going to be longer. A 70. I'm going to go for that one. And it's definitely that one. And then the middle and the end are the same. I'm going to assume that's wrong. Is that wrong then? See, that's now black.
There, all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself.
Never mind.
What can I do for you, my dear colleague?
We fixed it. Here's the
I
knob.
believe I found the knob from the stolen cane, which I succeeded in putting back together.
That's the one. And yet I cannot give it to you, Doctor. I will only return it to the police, and only if there is an official complaint against me.
Would there be a way to convince you to give me the cane?
Find me a dozen solid, adjustable harnesses for wooden leg prostheses, and it's yours, Doctor.
So go to the cobblers.
Goodbye, Dr. Gibbons.
Until we meet again, my dear colleague.
I think I had to go there. Someone mentioned a cobbler in one of the conversations anyway. But wouldn't they deal with like leather and stuff?
This interview with the doctor revealed an important fact. Leather Apron could not be the Bucks Road murder.
Yeah.
According to Margie, the villain passed most of the night of the crime at the fire. He could not have been at the scene of the murder at the moment it was committed. He is nonetheless a dangerous character.
Well, yeah. He's dangerous and he's an attacker. Bloody camera. There we go. He's a Hello. He's a dangerous person nonetheless. Wrong button. But is he a murderer? This is what we must ask ourselves. Where the do I go now? Boot and shoe repair.
A cobbler's shop.
Where were you just now when I was confused? Let's go in the cobbler's shop then.
There's nobody here. How very odd.
Excusez. Anyone help me?
I say, these
Jingle,
things
jingle,
look
jingle,
like
jingle.
harnesses. Oh my, they are noisy.
There we go,
Good
I've been
evening,
busted.
sir. Pardon the interruption. The door was open. I didn't think that I would find anyone working at this hour.
Good evening, sir. I didn't hear you come in.
You look creepy.
Say, those things that made noise, they are really harnesses, aren't they?
Yes, horse harnesses. But I must tell you, sir, that the store is normally closed at this hour. That is why I've asked you to return tomorrow.
I didn't come about my shoes. I came to speak of a cobbler, perhaps one of your former employees? A man with very particular habits.
You aren't with the police by any chance? I'm sorry, but I do not want to speak of anything but shoes with you.
Oh.
I am not a policeman. I am Dr. Watson. It's Mr. Finlay, who told me that you might be in a position to inform me.
Ah, that Mr. Finlay is a very brave man. And if he sent you, then you must certainly be a worthy man also.
Yeah, it's
So,
not what you
Doctor,
know, it's who you know.
Who is this cobbler with strange habits?
The man
I
of
have
whom
no
I
idea.
speak is called Pizer or Pyther, a man with a frightening face. Do you know him?
Yes, John Pizer. He worked here for a while, but he is no longer here.
Oh.
Do you know where I can find him?
No, and if you look, you will not find him.
Why?
Because he is in hiding, Doctor. You see, a week ago, A horrible murder took place in the neighborhood.
Oh.
A rumor circulated that he might have been responsible for this crime. They say he has quarreled
Rumors.
with women
Not good.
of certain virtue in the past, if you understand me.
Isaac, it is about the Bucks Row case that I have come to see you. I have the certitude and an incontestable witness that Pizer is innocent, at least of this crime, although he has attacked a number of street women. If he doesn't come forward to explain himself to the authorities, he is condemned to hiding and to take the fall for this murder. Furthermore, it will cast suspicions on your community because they must be hiding him. And while the whole police force is hunting for him, they cannot concentrate on the real assassin who roams the streets and, one never knows, may take any one of you any day.
If what you say is true, your visit is a godsend to our community, Doctor.
Yep.
I tell you something. I know Sergeant Thick, an honest policeman who lives in the area. I'll tell John's family that he must go there to explain himself. But if you could please go as soon as possible to the police to give them this report that you say is incontestable.
I will go as soon as I take leave of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've got to go to the
If
police
I
station.
can ever be of service in any way, do not hesitate to ask.
Could we
Well,
transform
now you
your
mention
horse
it.
harnesses into harnesses for wooden legs? Adjustable harnesses.
A good craftsman can do anything, Doctor. And I do believe that's what I am.
Big Ed.
Come back in a while and it will be done. That will be my thanks for what you have done.
Crack him.
I shall return later.
At your convenience, sir.
Right.
I am spent. I would like to return home. But I promised to go to the police as soon as I could. Now then, let's go to the police station.
Off we pop. Oh, my days. I feel games like this just make you become everybody's bitch. Yeah. Hello, Ossifer. Oh. More loading screens. Jolly good. Oh, shit.
Will you?
Yes.
Oh. Here comes victim number 2.
Hey, Doctor, you seem tired. Were you wandering the darker parts of Whitechapel all night?
You could say
Maybe.
that. I have some information on Leather Apron, the man of whom we spoke earlier.
Do you know where he is?
No, but I can clear him of the Bucks Row crime. A witness proved him
Apologies.
totally innocent.
Oh, Watson, is it only now, after many hours of walking, that you decide to pass
fuck are
on the
you doing
important
here?
message that Inspector Aberline is waiting for?
But, no. But what are you doing here, Holmes?
I was worried, Watson, and with good reason it would appear. Go give the message to this policeman and let's go home. Nobody appreciates me hanging around here, you know, and it's freezing cold.
Ah, Creddle, none too soon. You will take the testimony of this.
No, you continue with your duty shift. I must find Chandler in Ambry Street. He's struck again.
Who?
The murderer, the Bucks Row assassin.
Oh.
Hanbury
Is that where
Street.
we're going?
Let's go, Watson. We have no time to lose. Hanbury Street. Let's go, Watson. We have no time to lose.
Poor Watson just wanted to go home and go to bed. He's knackered. I control Sherlock Holmes. Can we go in? Hello, Ossifer.
You can go in, Mr. Holmes. She's there. We didn't touch a thing.
Oh. Oh, it's very dark. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh.
It was very good of PC Chandler to let us pass. He said no one has touched the corpse. It's the perfect opportunity for us to put our skills to the test. Watson, let's not waste it.
Okay. So I have to...
I have nothing to ask.
Oh.
This apron is soaked with water and has left a clear mark on the ground. It must have been left in water for several hours and has been there for some time.
Oh. Why are you always up my ass?
This door must lead to the cellar. The latch has been recently repaired.
Okay. Right. Let's do all this stuff
Two
around.
cones, curiously arranged.
Okay.
A piece of coarse muslin.
Well, no, we're not doing that bit yet. Let's get all of the stuff first. Pardon me, and then we'll make a deduction
There are
board.
no trails on the ground. There's no sign of a struggle. Bloodstains on the wall. The blood is a dozen inches or so from the ground.
Right. What the... Oh, piece of envelope found at 29 Hanbury Street. Okay.
A torn envelope. It smells of rubbing alcohol. It contains 3 pills. I will take one. 2 should suffice for the police.
Now, when you say take one, are you popping that or are you taking it home?
So, Doctor, shall we examine our victim?
Ah, I'm
Close
tired,
up.
Holmes. I'm not sure if I am in a state to do this work.
Come, Watson, there is little time. Show me what you're made of.
I don't think you got much hope there, Watson.
Oh, my God.
Pray, Watson, pull yourself together. Can you establish the time of the crime?
Be so bad, why don't you do it?
The extremities of the corpse are cold and rigor mortis is beginning to set in. I would say that the murder was committed over 2 hours ago, before 4:30 a.m.
Okay. So we has a time of death.
Now, let's look at the stomach, or at least what remains of it.
Ooh.
It's dreadful, Holmes. Who could do that to someone?
That's what you're here for, Watson. Tell me what this man has done.
The stomach has been entirely opened and... Oh, my God. A number of organs have been removed.
So
I love
you're
how his
telling me
mouth
that
and
the
his voice
organs were
does one thing, but his
removed,
face
Watson.
is just
They weren't ripped
stuck.
out.
Not at all, Holmes. On the contrary, this is clearly the work of an expert. I couldn't have done any better myself. And the uterus is missing.
Right, so now we've got a missing... Was it missing from the last one? Okay. I'll have to have a look at our deduction boards.
Looky here. It would seem he has a mark on his left hand.
She has a mark on her left hand.
The victim must have worn a large ring or several little ones, and someone pulled them off forcefully. This detail will be very valuable, Watson. You can be sure of that.
Anything else? She's got a lot of cuts on her fingers.
The victim must have worn a large ring or several little ones, and someone pulled them off forcefully. This detail will be very valuable, Watson. You can be sure of that.
And she has very, very, very dirty fingernails. Okay, so I'm guessing that's all I can do.
Let's look at this poor woman more closely.
Okay, so... No marks on the ground. I will get to the other stuff in a minute. So she has a mark
A bruise.
on the cheek.
The tongue is swollen.
Her tongue is also swollen. She's got more
The
bruising
victim's face appears to have bruising, wouldn't you say?
Under the maxilla and cheek.
under the
there is less on the
maxilla.
right
So it's
side.
like here, under the cheekbone.
Look at her neck. What can you tell me?
There are 2 incisions.
Ooh.
My dear Watson, now that we have found all of our clues, nothing remains but to subject them to our most likely hypotheses in order to deduce the facts.
So now to our deduction board. And there is 3, so Let's get all of the info on the board. Right, so neither footsteps nor streaks of blood on the ground, which would... Why can I not? Thank you. The killer blurred the traces. The victim wasn't dragged. The killer... So she wasn't dragged. That didn't change colour. The blood on the fence is 12 inches off the ground. Some blood spurted on the wall near the... Victim had a throat slit whilst lying down and still alive. No, because if she had the swollen tongue and the bruising, she was probably suffocated again. So, lying down and already dead. The murder took place on the premises, but it's wrong. So, haha. So the victim had her throat slit whilst lying down and still alive. Ew! Poor woman. Some blood spurted on the wall near the stairs. Right. The victim has bruises under the right jawbone and beneath the left cheek. Oh, I see. The murderer bit the victim. The murderer held the victim's chin with his left hand. I'm going to go left-handed again. I could be wrong, but... And then probably did it with his right hand. Like last time. So it must be right-handed. Because he's doing all the holding with his left, but he's doing all the cutting with his right. The tongue is bloated, therefore she was strangled. Oh, where's that go all the way to? Was partially strangled and then had her throat slit. Yeah. Right. An envelope is near the victim's head. An envelope was brought out by the victim. And that she was holding it in her hand. Okay, so they're all green. Let's go for these three. Right. The items at the victim's feet are very orderly. These items belong to the victim. He searched her? Yeah. And I'm gonna say he's organised because the way he led the, like, neatly placed them. What's this one? Oh, I can't press it. The body is cold and the extremities, so I'm guessing that's like the hands, feet. And rigor mortis has barely started. Over, did he say over? Before 4:30. Or was it barely to? Ah, right, barely to. So it all depends on the wording. A recent large scrape on the first flanks of the middle finger. Not swearing at you, but I'm guessing it's like that one. The victim struggled against the murderer and scratched him. One or more rings. And she had arthritis. Took off her rings. The murderer is a weak man. Stole the rings. I say he stole them. Right, so they're all green. One more board. There's an incision from the right to the left. Typo. Going around the neck. Organs are missing. Uterus was removed by the hands of an expert. There's an incision on... I'll read them when they're on there because I'm going to have to refresh my mind anyway. So I've done that one. There's an incision from the right on the neck from the right side, stopping in the middle. It's jerky and not all in one piece. But I'm going to say he used a sharp blade for now. And then A weapon of great size. I'm going to go with decapitation. Oh, I was right. I mean, we don't know if he ate it afterwards currently, but... The killer was a knowledge of anatomy, lost the uterus, went at it with a fury. He has a knowledge of anatomy.
I hear a noise coming
And that
from the
is
street, Watson.
deduction.
The authorities are arriving. It's time for us to go.
And off we fuck. Before we get busted and told to piss off again from that other bloke.
Holmes has been locked away in his room for days, always saying the same things. I'm thinking, Watson. Very good, Watson. As you wish, Watson. But I am thinking too, so much so that I can't sleep. Annie Chapman. Good Lord.
I control Dr. Watson. What do we do now? It looks like he's got a set of wireless headphones. Oh, I see. Right.
This is the harpoon that pierced the sailor Peter the Black. Bizarre little relic.
I swear I looked at that in the first one.
The Adventure of the Dancing Men. I remember it well.
I swear I... It's really sticky. I swear I looked at all them. Right.
Holmes examined the broken jar that belonged to Finley's tenant. I wonder what this substance is. I don't recognize the odor.
Aha,
Formalin,
here he
Watson.
is.
This jar contained formalin. Interesting, don't you think? I've been waiting for something for days. Just the tiniest bit of news that would make sense of this whole matter. But there's nothing, neither from the press nor the police. Unless Inspector Aberline is holding on to some information without realizing its importance, which is quite possible. It is time for you to return to the police station in Whitechapel, Watson. And didn't you tell me that you had a matter to take care of it? Take advantage of it to learn more about this pill and its contents.
So
But
go to the
Holmes,
doctor.
It's late, and spending another night in this district is hardly my idea of entertainment.
I know, Doctor, but we don't have any choice. Time is against us. Take your pistol in case you run into any troublesome characters.
Fine, as you wish, Holmes.
So does that mean I'm gonna have a gunfight? Or is that just to make me feel at ease? So I gotta go to the police station, the cobbler's shop and the clinic. So if I go to the cobbler's shop first, get my harnesses, to the clinic to do the pill and get the stick, to the brothel to give him the stick back. Can I move? Thank you. And then to the police station. Good day to you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Solomonovich.
Good evening, Doctor. What a
Solomonovich.
pleasure to see you again.
Do you have those harnesses for me, my good
Have you
man?
finished converting the harnesses?
Yes, just now. I got a little behind because of all the commotion.
What commotion?
Commotion?
Don't you start. 3 days ago, the very afternoon that you passed by, there was a chase throughout the neighborhood. Hundreds of people were chasing one man, claiming he was responsible for the murders these last few days. Schmonz!
Another
It was
rumor.
awful. I hope those maniacs didn't catch him. Better the police should.
Tell me, did John Pizer turn himself in to the police?
Things unfolded as they should. Look in the newspaper, the Daily News from today.
Okay. Cheers, my dears.
Farewell, Isaac.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Haha! There is good reason why the public acceptance of the maniac theory should be endorsed and encouraged. At present, there is a real danger. Turning opinions quite another direction. Improbable rumours containing various elements of fantasy were inciting a hatred of Jews, more abhorrent than that which is caused by religious fanaticism. I can't read. Following investigations into the circumstances surrounding the murder of Annie Chapman, several men were arrested yesterday, among whom a Polish Jew named Pfizer, apprehended not far from the scene of the crime. Pfizer was released last evening. It doesn't kind of clear him, though, does it? Okay, thank you for my harnesses. I'm off. Good day, geezer. Doobie 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 doo. Hit the bottle a bit hard, did we, love? Bum, 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 bum. Good afternoon, my friend. Here is your harnesses.
Good evening, Dr. Gibbons.
Dr. Watson.
Did you keep the cane we spoke of last time?
I was going to sell it tomorrow, would you believe, having not heard word.
Here are your harnesses, Doctor.
They are top quality, I'd say. Definitely worth the price of this walking stick. Here, it's yours.
Cracking. Thank you.
Do you have any formalin here?
No, definitely not. They have it in university hospitals to conserve anatomical specimens in jars. But in a little clinic like mine, we don't keep anything but bad memories.
Goodbye, then.
Well, farewell, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Watson.
I do have
I
one
must
more
go
question.
to Miss Bella's.
No, we must not. We need to ask about this tablet.
Yes, Doctor?
Could you tell me what type of pill this is?
Yes, we have those here. It's not really a medication. We give them to patients with chronic respiratory conditions like tuberculosis.
Okay.
Did you have a patient by the name of Annie Chapman? The woman killed 3 days ago.
Indeed. She came in the morning of her death. Poor woman.
Did you give her these pills?
Yes, now that I think of it. She actually came in twice. The first time I gave her an almost empty container without making her pay. She came back during the day and said she dropped the container and stepped on the pills. She wanted to know if I could give her more again without paying. I refused. After she left, a patient who was there told me that he lives at the same place and confided that she had been lying. He saw the pills fall in the tenement's communal kitchen, but the woman immediately wrapped them up in a piece of paper.
Where did this paper come from?
According to this man, she'd found it near the chimney in the kitchen.
Anyone could have thrown that paper there. That envelope can't have anything to do with the murder.
Pardon, Doctor?
Nothing. I was just talking to myself.
He's making a theory.
Well, farewell, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Watson.
My brain is
I
like
must go
scrambled
to
egg
Miss
today.
Bella's.
We're going. Let's go shove this back in his face. Miss Bella's. Bella's brothel. Good day, good sir. Ah, he's not there. Gun. Miss Bella, hello. Here you go.
Good evening, ma'am. Your door was open. Isn't that a little dangerous?
Hello, Doctor. Don't worry if the looks of anyone who enters doesn't please me. Me and my pistol know how to convince them to leave.
Okay.
I found the cane that was stolen from your client. Here it is.
Doctor, you are a real saint, I can see that. I'll finally be able to present my bill to this damned painter. If by chance you see him, tell him that a little surprise awaits him here.
Oh dear.
You told me you would give me some information on this Dr. Tumblety.
Agreed. He's a Canadian or an American. He parades from time to time through the neighbourhood in a 50-guinea suit and acts like a doctor. But for business, he isn't worth it. This damn Yankee hates women. The few times that he was approached by the girls, he spit on them, all the while hurling insults. It would seem that he was hunting for the bad boys. He's looking for trouble,
Oh,
that
he was
animal.
gay.
Does he frequent any pub in particular?
Aye, the Wasp's Nest on Burner Street, I think. A seedy spot, even by our standards.
That's where I'm going now.
Do you happen to know Annie Chapman, the poor woman who was killed 3 days ago?
Dark Annie? Like all the drifters in the area, I've seen her once or twice. With respect to the dead, Annie really was the bottom of the barrel.
What do you mean?
Well, in our profession, the pretty young ones go out when night has barely fallen and don't have a problem finding takers. But poor girls like Annie or Polly Nichols, who aren't as tender and are often sick, sometimes trudge around for a whole night in the cold and the rain before landing a client. And that doesn't help their appearances either. They don't have much choice about paying for a bed for a few hours, a glass of gin or a hot meal.
How terribly sad.
It is very
Price of
sad.
survival in Whitechapel, my angel. One of my girls knew Annie for some time. They bought some jewellery on the black market, I think.
Jewellery? How could Annie Chapman have possibly afforded jewellery?
Luxuries for a woman are always relative to her condition, Doctor. As a matter of fact, it was real cheap junk. Annie got 3 assorted brass rings, I think. It's been said I have a memory for jewellery.
Right.
How is Lucy keeping?
She's doing well, Doctor. But believe me, it won't last. Rare are the girls who can build a future in our profession.
Okay. So we're going to the
Very
Wasp's
well,
Nest
I
now.
shall let you get back to work, Ma.
See you soon, my love.
Keep pressing the wrong button. I don't have any deductions to make, so why did you put me on this page? No. Let's go to the Wasp's Nest. Or do I go to the police station first? I actually think I should go to the police station first.
Good evening. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Not at all, Doctor. This man, Mr. Richardson, is a witness to the horrid affair at 29 Hanbury Street, the murder of Annie Chapman. We are discussing the relevance of his testimony.
You're probably not in a position to discuss it with me, but I would like to know more about what you call the relevance of this young man's testimony.
Oh, there's no secrecy. It's simply that the testimony given by Mr. Richardson doesn't match the time of death given by the coroner, Dr. Phillips.
What was the time of death, according to him?
Before 4:30 in the morning.
That's what I said.
My conclusions were the same. Were there any other conflicting testimonies?
Well, 2 other witnesses summoned at the preliminary inquest gave testimony, but in these cases too, the times don't match.
Do you remember what it was they said?
I didn't question them myself. A colleague of mine took down their statements on paper, but on deciding they were of little use, he tore them up and threw them in the bin. There's no point in being bogged down with useless paperwork.
Right.
I will take my leave, Humphreys.
Goodbye, Doctor.
So can I steal them from the bin? Yes, I can.
Here are the ripped statements. I can piece them together again.
Ah, no. That one can go there. No. That's what we did for that one. Right, we are getting somewhere. Second corner. Thank you so much. Okay, see that now. Let's see that there. I can go there. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just do it. Doesn't really have that one, doesn't match. That one can... There's 2. Right. Nothing good either. I have no idea what I'm doing now. Street at approximately Saxon Market. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. I have no idea that goes there. This is 1. I probably can write this. Huh. So that goes there. And then that goes there. Right. I can't really get it somewhere. Just leave E long. Oosh. I can't really get it somewhere. Apologies if you can hear the control pad. It's very old and stiff compared to the new, modern, up-to-date stuff. Especially the bumper buttons.
There,
Ha-ha.
all done. Holmes couldn't have done better himself.
On the morning of the murder, the witness was passing down Hamburg Street on da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Right, I'm not reading that yet. Four minutes later, whereupon he heard the thudding noise against the fence. So there were people around. White Plume Mountain Inn, a kayak affair. Jacob Levy, 30 years old, Aldgate, theft of a weight of meat from his employer. Attack on a nun. So these are just... Okay.
An old report on arrests that took place a few years earlier.
Excuse me, sir. Speak to me, please.
May I introduce myself? I'm Dr. Watson.
The copper's like, can you just piss off?
You want to be the chap what writes the detective stories in that there paper?
Well, yes, indeed, my stories have been published in the Strand.
Go, blimey, want to tell me old mum?
It
wanna
would
tell
seem
me,
your
old
testimony
mum?
is the subject of some debate. Could you tell me what it was about?
They'll be telling you I'm a bit befuddled about the times that I told them. But it can't be so. I knows what I sees and what I don't sees that morning.
What did you see, or what didn't you see? And at what time, would you say?
I'll tell you this for nothing. It's me old mum who lives at the house where the body was found out back in the garden. She has her shop at the bottom to the right of the stairs. Her door was broken down not too far back because it's a real zoo it is. Right, the morning it happened, I head that way to see if me old mum has finally had the place broken into. It was 4:45 when I got there. That I'll swear on me dear old mum's life. I had a look round to see if the cellar had been taken. No. I had a little sit down on the stairs by the courtyard because me shoes were causing me no end of pain and I had a cut and all. I didn't see a single thing below the steps, Doctor. Not one single thing. If there was some bird all covered in blood, tain't no how I could have missed that, even if it were night time. Right. 5 minutes after getting to number 29, I had to click off. And now they tells me that either I can't tell time no more, or I was fixing me loafer next to a stiff that was still steaming.
Look.
All right then. Evening, gents.
Right. So we need to figure out timelines. Let's go to the wasp's nest.
The Wasp's Nest. This pub looks even more disreputable than the Golden Lion in Baker Street.
There he is.
Good
Hello,
evening,
Pisshead.
sir.
It'll be the coup of my career, Governor said. Ha! You'll make loads of doss of the paper, he said.
You're a journalist?
That's so. Tom Bulling at your service.
Bulling?
The Whitechapel ferret, the wizard with the scoop.
You don't appear to be in a state to write anything, my friend.
You're mistaken. Whiskey passes through the blood and turns into ink. Simple. You see, mugs and inkwells are all the same.
Don't you think you should settle your tab and go home?
My red ink? Where's my red ink? I won't even pay half a halfpenny if they don't return my red ink. It's my blood, you hear?
Right.
Very well, I'll be on my way.
Hey, you can't go in there. It's private. Got it?
Sorry, geezer.
This is the sink where the barmaid puts the glasses to soak. Look, red ink. What's that doing here? The bottle is closed. There must still be some ink inside, and it looks like a glass. The barmaid must have put ink into the sink by mistake.
Right. Do I get in your way? Me?
I wasn't doing
If you'll
anything.
excuse me, sir.
Hello.
Good evening. Would you happen to have seen a Dr. Tumblety? A man of a certain age dressed in a flamboyant manner.
If you're looking for some company, Gov, you've come to the wrong place. Me? I'm just here to pour. I don't care who you is, I knows nothing, and I don't care neither.
Fair enough. Hello.
Greetings, my good man. Could I have a pint?
Here, Gov.
I've been told that Dr. Tumblety might be found around here. Is that so?
I don't do a roll call of all the drunkards here. I've got my hands full just making sure I get their money.
Don't people pay when they order?
Nah, look at that little scribbler there. Completely dead drunk. Tonight's tally is about as low
What?
as his
Itchy
arm.
back.
If he skips out, I'll be in for a guinea almost.
What's behind that locked door over there? Can I go in?
Not likely. And let me be unless you're wanting a drink. Got it?
Fucking hell.
Goodbye, my friend.
Oi, that's it.
Alright, geez. Let's give this moron back his red ink.
You're the best. The boss told me. My red ink. Well, where's she be?
Here.
I found your red ink, my friend. You should settle up and head home.
Thank you, my friend, thank you. The spring-heeled phantom will be revived.
Did he Oh, he's gone. Did he pay you?
Gov?
Here you go. It's on the journalist, my friend.
I owe you one. The next one is on me. What'll it be?
Nothing, thanks. But I may need your help. Goodbye, my friend.
Oi, that's it.
Alright. Calm your tits. Yo.
Good evening, sir.
Well, I know you. Why, we met at Miss Pullman's the other day. So you've come to slum it in Whitechapel, eh?
Do you know Dr. Tumblety? A Canadian or American chap. Quite an extravagant dresser. Frequents this pub now and then.
Are you intimate?
No. What do you mean by that?
It's none of your
Hell,
fucking
nothing,
business.
Nothing at all. I just wanted to prove my discretion concerning this man, in so much and so far as I know him. You wouldn't like it if one day the tables were turned and everyone was talking about why you were in the borough. Isn't that so?
As it happens, I saw Miss Pullman recently. She told me that she couldn't wait to see you again. She said something about a surprise that is waiting for you at her establishment.
Why, that is some of the best news I've heard, my friend. As thanks, I would like to let you in on a secret. The man that you were talking about, and whom I happen to know by sight, passed by and went through that little door that you see over there.
Right.
Another man let him in. They weren't together for more than a few minutes, to be sure, eh?
Right.
Well, I will continue my search.
Love.
But what is this person trying to imply? This matter is beyond me.
He's just not getting it, is he? At all. Can I go in the door now?
Gov?
Haha.
Listen, my friend, I would like you to let me in the door over there.
You're a bobby. A peeler?
Absolutely not, my friend. I am a doctor.
Fine. I owe you this at least. There's a bloke behind that door there. No pity Bluto.
Bluto.
Let's just say he wants to lay low for a moment. So I don't think he'll be opening the door just now. Unless... Tell him you have word from Squibby. That'll open the door. But who can say what'll happen when the door closes?
Well, let's go find out.
Goodbye, my friend.
Oi, that's it.
Alright, calm down. Excuse me, Squibby Wibby.
Let me in. I have news from Squibby. But stay calm.
Someone shitting his pants. Hello.
And who are you? Where's Squibby? He's out.
To be honest, I don't actually know this Squibby chap. I was actually wondering if you knew Dr. Tumblety, a Canadian or American fellow. He came in...
Sure we know him.
Excellent. Can you...
You know about gas?
I'm afraid not. I am a doctor.
Then I ain't interested. You can be leaving now. But if I find out he snitched to the peelers, I'll find you. Got it?
But I can
I didn't
pay
do jack
you
shit.
for-
Keep your coins for the paupers, or one of the gas boys who ain't afraid of nothing and knows how to hold his tongue. You bring him to me. I'll meet with you.
Now I gotta go find a gas boy. Where the fuck am I gonna find one of those? So where do I go now? To go back to Baker Street because I've found everything. I don't know where to go now.
I could return to Baker Street, but I am still missing some information. And that would put Holmes in a devil of a mood.
I don't know where to go now though. I've sorted out everything at the pub. I need to find a gas man. Let's go see Finley.
There is a strong smell of gas. It seems to be coming from the abandoned building.
Let's go and ask Finley. Hello, Finley. What's this? What's this? A lot of old junk.
Good evening, Finley. How are you?
Oh, good evening, Doctor. So. And you?
What's the matter,
It
Finley?
smells of gas here.
You might say, Doctor, without wanting to speak ill of the force, I have to wonder if the police are up to something.
What do you mean?
Well,
Usually.
I was outside yesterday evening when the light went out at my place, and a gas smell came from the abandoned building across from my place. And a minute later, the police arrived and were snooping all around like it was them who hit the gas before arriving.
Rather odd.
Have things sorted themselves out with your strange tenant?
Don't talk about it, Doctor. That man is truly bizarre. He goes to the most sordid locations once night falls. 3 days ago, my wife told me she saw him come in with blood-stained clothes and a fearsome look.
Okay.
Interesting. What does he look like, and how old is he?
Oh, he's my age, give or take, so the other side of 50. He's always dressed in a striking manner with an American hat. He's big, close to 5'11", I'd say. He has a strange voice, not just his accent, see, his voice.
Right.
Very well. Goodbye for now, Finley.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Now then, let's go to the police station.
And I'm gonna walk. Right, I am going to leave this one here at the police station. I'm not sure how much we really got done because it's a lot of trying to figure stuff out. Like, the letter took, well, the 2 testimonies took a good amount of time. But I don't really feel we're making much murder progress as opposed to being everybody's errand boy. But I suppose we're learning nuggets of information here or there. So in the next one, hopefully we can make further progress and we can try and move closer to Jack the Ripper. In the meantime, you take care of yourselves and I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.